what's up? Today's video is going to be my March haul and my April TBR, so let's get right on into this so that we don't take too long. Just a heads up, we're gonna do my haul first, but I am going to be doing my TBR for the Magical Readathon in this video as well, since it's a month-long readathon. My entire month of April is for that, almost. There's a couple books that aren't on it, but let's do my haul first. First book I have to show you here is something that I won in a giveaway on Instagram, so that was exciting. And I got the sequel to You by Carolyn Ketless, which is Hidden Bodies. So this is the sequel to You. You is told in second person, and you follow Joe watching the girl that he is stalking, and it is creepy. And there's now a Netflix thing on it. I also watched that. I am very upset that this is not a sticker, but that's okay. I can't tell you too much about this one, but it is a sequel. If you've read You, just know that this one, I think it's told in third person and first person. I'm not sure. This month I didn't get anything from publishers, so we're gonna go right into my Barnes & Noble haul that I bought, because Barnes & Noble was doing like this huge sale, so I was like, it's my birthday month. I can buy books. I bought A Secret History of Witches by Louisa Morgan. I don't know a whole lot about this. I just know that it was pretty, and also I'm pretty sure I've heard the title before. It's about witches, so that's cool, and it has deckled edges. The next book I got has been super hyped on BookTube, and it is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Yan, I want to say. Each year, 8 beautiful girls are chosen as paper girls to serve the king. It's the highest honor they could hope for, and the most demeaning. This year, there's a 9th, and instead of paper, she's made of fire. And this sounds like a creepy version of the Selection series. I'm into it. I've heard great things. Next book I have here is Here and Now and Then by Mike Chen. This I remember being really interested when I was looking at my Goodreads, you know, when you go into anticipated new releases or whatever and you go by your genres. Stewart is an everyday family man working in IT, trying to keep the spark in his marriage, struggling to connect with his teenage daughter Miranda. It's an adult book, holy shit. But his current life is a far cry from his previous career as a time-traveling secret agent from 2142. Time travel really freaks me out. In case anyone was curious, the idea that time travel exists, hope that it doesn't, because it really freaks me out. Last book that I got at Barnes & Noble was Pride by Edie Zavoy. You guys have probably all heard about this. This is a Pride and Prejudice retelling, but I'm pretty sure it takes place in the Bronx? Maybe? Brooklyn, not the Bronx, sorry. Ooh, look at that. That is gorgeous. Don't know much about Pride and Prejudice, or Brooklyn for that matter, but I've heard mixed reviews on this actually, so I'm really curious. I read Edie Zavoy's first book, which is American Street. I believe that's her debut novel, and this is her second book. And I didn't love American Street. I thought it was good, but there were some writing choices that they really didn't vibe with me, and so I'm wondering how I feel about this, especially given that I don't know anything about Pride and Prejudice, so I won't be comparing them, which is maybe a good thing, but also maybe detrimental if there's like a lot of references that I just won't understand. I don't know. And that is my haul for the month of March. It was nice and small. Let's get straight into the TBR. The first book I want to talk about is the only one that's not a part of the Magical Readathon. Actually, there's 2. I couldn't figure out how to put these 2 books into the Magical Readathon. I am also doing the Magical Readathon like so simple. Instead of looking at the wonderful booklet that G made, he from the Book Roast is the one who created the Magical Readathon, and it's based on the OWLs, or owls, from Harry Potter, the exams, and you're supposed to look at like the type of careers that they offer and then match your books to the exams you have to pass in order to do a particular job. But I didn't do that because I was too stressed as it is with everything going on in my life that I was like, no, I'll just match them with however they work. She is amazing, and you should definitely check out her channel. I will link it down below. I'll link her Owls Readathon stuff down below too. These are the books that I'm planning on reading firstly that are not part of the Magical Readathon TBR. The first of which is I need to finish Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor, because as I was saying in my last video, this live show is going to be April 13th. I believe at 7 p.m. PST. I really need to finish this. It is April 2nd. I am almost halfway through, and I read almost the entire part of this chunk last night, so like I'm good. This is a reread, all of them are. I am also making a book diary vlog of this reread situation that I'm doing, and I am also annotating for the first time. I freaking love this series. It's so good. That's the first book I need to finish. I'm currently in the middle of. The next book that I have that's not part of the Magical Readathon is another read along that I'm doing this month, and it is the Throne of Glass read along. It is at TOG Read Alongs with an S or hashtag TOG Read Along on Twitter. Both of those are on Twitter. And me and Brittni from Brittni's Book Find are hosting a read along of all of this series this year. We will be finishing it up at the end of the year. And the first book live show will be in May. We don't have a live show date for it just yet, so make sure that you're following us on Twitter. Everything's linked down below. But the first live show will be on Brittni's channel. So excited to give this a reread. I haven't reread any of these books ever, so it has been like 2 years since I read Throne of Glass. That is wild. I have it signed. It's glorious. I'm wondering how I feel about this book, because this was definitely my least favorite book of the series. Oh, I guess I should tell you what these things are about. Daughter of Smoke and Bone is about a girl named Carew whose hair grows out of her head bright blue, and she also is loved and taken care of by this mixed animal creature named Brimstone, who has like an ox head but alligator eyes, and she lives in Prague, and things happen. Laini Taylor, if you guys have read Strange the Dreamer but you haven't read this, you know how like Strange the Dreamer starts out one way and then you can't really give the plot because it changes? Same. She likes to give you information as she writes. This one is about Selena Sardothien. She is an assassin, and she is currently in the slave camp called Indovir for the rest of her life because she got caught. But the king is having an assassin's challenge, kind of like Hunger Games-ish. And he's bringing a bunch of people in to become the king's assassin, and if you win the tournament, that's the word I was looking for, then you get to be the assassin for a certain amount of years and then you get your freedom back. And so she decides to take part. She doesn't really get to decide. She's kind of told to do it. That's how our story starts here, and things also just keep going as the series goes on, and I'm so excited to get back into this. We are going into the actual Magical Readathon stuff. So the next book that I need to read is Days of Blood and Starlight by Laini Taylor. This is the sequel to Daughter of Smoke and Bone, so I can't give you much information about this one, but it is the sequel. This live show will be the second week of May. I think the sequel's live show is on Red's channel. So again, all of the read-along hosts are linked down below, and the Twitter is at DOSAB readalong. And that's also the hashtag everywhere. This is going to be covering my astronomy OWL, and that is for a star. Read the word star in the title. So Days of Blood and Starlight. That is the one I'm reading for that. Then I actually just started this one, and it is Autobiography by Christina Lauren. This is covering my arithmancy OWL, and that means that it has to be written by more than one author, and Christina and Lauren are two different people. I'm actually meeting them tomorrow my time, April 3rd, with Chelsea from Chelsea Darling Reads, and this is about a boy. Let me just read the back of it to you because I get confused. 3 years ago, Tanner Scott's family relocated from California to Utah, a move that nudged the bisexual teen temporarily back into the closet. It sounds good, and like, look at this book cover. Is that not the most beautiful thing you've ever seen? The next book that I'm planning on reading this month is King of Fools by Amanda Foody. This book I have on NetGalley as an ARC. This book comes out on April 30th. This is the sequel to, what is the first one called? House of Cards. No, that's the TV show. I can't remember the name of the first book. This is the sequel to this book here that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head. I also read an ARC of this one by Amanda Foody, and it's kind of this, it's definitely a fantasy. It's like a historical fiction, urban fantasy. Also about casinos and that kind of life, and like kind of gang members and mobsters. It was really good. So this is the sequel that I'm going to get to read. My Potions OWL, which is to read a sequel. And as I mentioned in my March wrap up, you guys picked for me my Goodreads list, my Goodreads vote, and you guys picked Feminists Don't Wear Pink last month, and I just did not have the time, or I did not make the time to get to it, so I will be reading this month instead, which means you guys are not getting a Goodreads poll this month. Is my Charms OWL, which is to read an adult book. And this is a nonfiction adult work. And then lastly on my TBR, I'm gonna do a TBR jar pick. Last book that I definitely need to get to this month is Internment by Samira Ahmed. This is the Sassy Book Club pick for April. Our live show for this book will be April 29th at 7 p.m. PST on my channel. We are also being co-hosted with an amazing group of people. I'm so ready to read it and get to it. I need to request it from the library immediately because I haven't done that yet. Is my Divination OWL because it is set in the future. Not far into the future, but like kind of in this dystopian version of like if the American government keeps going really horribly wrong when it comes to how they treat Muslims. So that's great. And it is about how this girl who is Muslim is dealing with that being an American citizen and such and such. Those are all of the books that I need to get to in the month of April. Why not add another book through the TBR jar? The TBR jar, for those of you who haven't watched one of my TBRs before, I pick out 3 books from here and then throughout the month I have to just read one. Normally I also do my Goodreads pick, which I then pull for you guys to pick. Maybe I'll do that for these because I'm not doing Goodreads poll. Okay, so I pulled out 2 white strips, which means that they are either dystopian, sci-fi, or paranormal, and I also picked out a purple strip, which means they are a contemporary, or thriller, or mystery. The first book that I picked out was my purple strip, and it is Girl Last Seen. We got 2 authors here, so that maybe could work. Cadence Mulligan played to a packed house of her fans Friday night. Saturday morning she was gone. So it's a thriller. The next book that I picked out was The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza by Sean David Hutchinson. This is also a page habit book, so it is annotated by Sean David Hutchinson on sticky notes, which is cool, but I feel like I maybe don't want to touch this one this month because I'm already stressed. And then the last book that I picked out for the TBR jar was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I've tried reading this book on 2 different occasions and have failed, but it's signed, so that's cool. Sci-fi, futuristic, cyborg retelling of Cinder. Retelling is one of the magical readathon things, I think. I could work with a couple different things with this, so those are the 3 books. Let me see here. I could do Muggle Studies, a contemporary novel, Transfiguration, red on the cover. No, wait. This one has red on the cover too. Transfiguration, or I could do a retelling, which is Ancient Ruins. Each one of these could be a magical readathon option. This one's like kind of cheating, but that's okay. So I will put these up in a poll for you. You guys can pick whichever one you want. Do I promise I'll get to it this month? No, but I already am getting rid of one of my TBR and Goodreads things, so I'll just combine them this month. So you guys pick for me. Do you want me to read Cinder by Marissa Meyer? Do you want me to read Girl Last Seen? This is a thriller. Or do you want me to read The Apocalypse of Elena Mendoza, which is some sort of magical realism something or other? Me and Sean David Hutchinson writing don't always get along. That's okay. So yeah, which book do you want me to read? You guys get to pick. Those are all the books I'm planning on reading. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 books in the month of April. I doubt it'll happen. Some of them are obviously more priority than others given that they're part of live shows and read-alongs and blah blah blah. Hoping to have a good month. I mean, I definitely hope I can get through 8 books in a month. I just find it hard to believe that it'll happen. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I am so close to 8,000 subscribers. I would really love to hit that very soon. Make sure to leave a comment on your most anticipated read for this month. What challenges are you doing for Magical Readathon? Are you trying to do all 12? Because if you are, my social media is always linked down below. Don't forget to check out DOSAB Read Along and TOG Read Alongs on Twitter. I will see you guys very soon with a new video. Until then, bye!